It's a lot of paper, so you'll have to do it.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started here. Go ahead and call order the Board of Works and Public Safety meeting for August 17th. I will say tonight, we have a very long agenda for the Board of Works, so a couple things here. Let's try to stay on task and focus on our agenda. And secondly, let's not have too many side conversations because it gets diluted a little bit. You get too many people talking, you can't pick it up. So let's just try to get through this. There's over like 100 and almost 20 pages of documents in here tonight. So that's why I want to keep on task and keep going. So first item is, and it's not even on the agenda, for on the Board of Works, you have a copy. Chris, you got a copy as well, I think. I completely spaced it on an email here from August 12th. Beth from USI, we had met with her and Mitch and Chris. We talked about the community crossing project that's going to be starting, maybe into this month, 1st of September.
September 2nd is the next call. Yeah.
So we talked about rejuvenation of some of the existing roads that we have done in the past. Beth sent me an email, I spaced it, went right over top of it. She contacted me here maybe an hour and a half before the meeting and said, hey, is it on the agenda? I told her no, it wasn't, but there's a tight window on this. September 1st to the 31st is when you get to community crossing. So you have copies in front of you. Beth, I'm gonna let you take it from the beginning and just cover everything that we discussed earlier.
So what we discussed was basically taking what you guys have recently repaved. So the last community crossings project from 23-2, which was nearly $800,000, and then the one that you are currently paving this year, which is about $500,000, taking those bundles and applying for community crossings money to put a rejuvenator on those, which basically makes your deterioration curve flatten, so they stay at that 9 to 10, 8 to 10 range of laser rating longer, and basically makes your money go further for that initial investment. So that, I know you guys have also talked about micro sealing, which is a little bit different than the rejuvenator. So the rejuvenator you put on new repaved roads. The micro seal you do on roads that are still structurally sound, but have some wear and tear. So that also helps to flatten that deterioration curve and helps like ratings 5 to 7 last longer. So it doesn't necessarily increase your phaser, it just extends the life of your roadway. So what we have presenting to you this evening is an agreement for USI to complete all of the estimates that are needed and application assistance, bid assistance, closing out the project, basically going through the entire community crossings life cycle for those segments that you applied for in 23 and 25. And then that would be your overall project for 2020, fiscal 2027. So the overall investment for this is it's very small compared to what you have been spending on community crossings improvement projects. And then for this particular community crossings call, like we mentioned, it opens September 2nd, closes at the end of September. Likely bid it out in November or December, and then the project will be completed next year. And it's an 80-20 matching grant.
So you're looking for us to approve the 12,000 or is it 15,000? I see two different.
So the agreement in front of you this evening is 12,000. That's for USI to assist with the project.
Okay.
The 15,000 that is mentioned in the email is Butler's potential match for the actual rejuvenation. So construction side of it.
I didn't get a chance to look, but on the budget where that would come out.
Yes, so I have a current copy here. Our local match could come from on page 8. Our local match could come from local road and street improvements. We still have $92,000 available there. And the engineering fees could come from MVH restricted. We have $25,000 still available there just for engineering fees. So, right here, and then there's 25 for engineering.
And the thing that makes this more time sensitive is after we get this signed agreement, we come back to you with a financial commitment letter to be approved by the board so that you can actually apply for the funds. So not only do we have to kind of put all those estimates together, we also have to come back and make sure that you guys are comfortable with what we're asking for.
Okay. Now, good with that, we can just look at the ball rolling.
Chris, anything you want to add to it? I know it's kind of coming on you here about an hour and a half ago as well.
No, I think everything looks good to me. Yeah. And I move that we approve the authorization to proceed with USI for the project fee stated at $12,000.
Second.
The motion second to approve the contract with USI as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion passed.
Thanks so much for having me and putting me to the top of the agenda.
Thanks for the friendly reminder too.
No problem. Thanks, guys. We'll be back in probably September 8th. Let's just, is that your next meeting or is it the
Yes.
second?
September 8th.
Okay, perfect.
Right now.
Right now.
Okay, if anything changes, let me know.
Okay.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. The approval of the previous meeting minutes.
I move we approve the minutes of the previous meeting of August 3rd as presented.
I second.
Motion and second to approve the minutes from August 3rd. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass. Anybody in the audience have any questions pertaining to tonight's agenda? All right, moving on to payments and vouchers. First one is payroll claim register for pay period of July 27th to August 9th. The amount of $49,196.95. The second one is vouchers for the period of August 1st to August 14th. The amount of $302,476.83.
I move that we approve the payroll register for the pay period of 7/27 to 8/9 in the amount of $49,196.95, along with the vouchers for period 8/1 to 8/14 in the amount of $302,476.83.
Second.
Motion and second to approve payments and vouchers as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass. Next we'll move on to adjustment requests. We have one, 2026-26 for 109 East Oak, vertical error credit account $97.86.
Move we approve the adjustment request 2026-26 for 109 East Oak, credit to account $97.86.
I second.
Motion and second to approve the adjustment request as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass. The department reports, start off with Matt.
I don't think those were words.
Welcome back.
Okay.
Ron.
Well, I have a few things. You gotta wait easy for a couple weeks, so there we go. One of the things after getting all the SCBA's in and getting them in service, taking a look at, we just wanted to make up some shortfalls that we could not get with the grant. Now, if you look at the one page and stuff, I'm trying to find that one. The main amount. Did Did you get that one in, the one that has everything?
Yeah, it's the second page.
Okay.
Find your green sheet that says 6 SCBA bottles, and then flip it over on the back of that
Oh,
sheet is all your pricing.
Okay, didn't see that. Okay, so what it boils down to is that, those are the things that, if you look at the large amount, that amount doesn't actually, that's not what we're going after right now. That is the end result of what we would like to get by the end of the year stuff, just to complete all of our apparatus up to. Right now, we're very functional with what we have. We just need, 4, actually, it's stuff where I'm looking at the front page here that has the 6 SCBA bottles and the 2 regulators. After looking at that, and I apologize to Angela because I did not get to her today or that day, that stuff after. I want to take the 6 and put it as 4. Oh, 7. Sorry.
You're on the wrong date.
I apologize, Rick.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to take the 6 SCBA bottles and put that at 4, and then the 2 regulators, like to move that to 4 of those instead of 2. So that comes out to 11,600. And that was an adjustment change on my part, because when I first initially presented that to Angela for the board works and stuff, I looked at something wrong, and I only need 4 bottles to get engine 32 up to where it's supposed to be with the air packs on the truck. And then the 2 regulators moving that to 4 will be for additional personnel, or if we have a defect in any of the ones given, because all the regulators now belong to each firefighter. So before, where we had them on the packs, now they are, basically exchangeable from pack to pack, from person to person. So they have a mask and a regulator that they are responsible for. So if they get onto a truck, it clips into the air pack and away they go. Okay, so that basically and stuff is gonna put us into the ballpark of any failures that we might have, or any additional personnel volunteers wise that we have. And that is probably gonna take us, to the end of the year. Then the only thing that we would have to look into would be the air pack adjustment. And that is something that we will look into. We had talked about possibility of townships helping us out, and actually into our volunteer fund, or something possibly to do that, not out of budget per se. Okay, so that's what we're shooting for.
How many bottles?
4 bottles, 4 regulators.
Total's now 11,600.
11,600, correct. And then that will take care of, like I said, all of the apparatus equally to the air packs that are on the rig. Because right now, as engine 32 is our second out, if we're on fire or something, we have to take that. We don't have an additional air pack bottle for the ones that have an air pack, or for the seats that are occupied by a pack. So I'll give that extra one to each one.
It's 4,400 for 4 SCBA bottles, and then 7,200 for 4 regulators.
Correct.
Okay, which gives us the 11,600.
And from what I understand, that price is good now until November, from what it sounds like. Subject to change.
You have a quote on here from air packs?
No,
Or from the company itself?
no.
So how do you get that price?
What's that?
The pricing, you don't have a quote here from the company. Did they give that to you verbally or anything?
That is what all of those on the backside, if you look at the paper on the thing, one SCBA pack is 8,300, SCBA bottle 1,100.
Yeah, no, I get that. What, the company you're getting it from.
Who's the vendor?
Hoosier Fire.
So you don't have an invoice from Hoosier Fire?
Not like
Or
that.
locked in?
I got that one verbally from them, because that's what, the pricing was different from the grant program.
I would prefer going forward, if you present this, that we have it in writing
Yeah.
versus verbal. It could change, perhaps you can test that, how things change overnight on some of this pricing. So I would like next time that this says Hoosier Fire, and then we have an invoice from them that documents what that is.
Yeah, I can do that. Biggest thing is I got him in North Carolina. I was on vacation, so I just wanted to hit this meeting and stuff, but yeah, I can do that. That's not
I was sure that that's something I, so.
Do you not want us to move forward with this, like, add?
We feel he could probably provide that tomorrow or something.
Yeah. I can try to get that quote to us and stuff really easy.
All right. No other questions, Ron?
This is from Hoosier Fire, you said?
Hoosier Fire, correct.
I move we approve the purchase of 4 SCBA bottles and 4 regulators from Hoosier Fire, with a total not to exceed $11,600.
In addition to provide hard quote proposal. I second.
Second. Have a motion and a second to approve the contract with Hoosier Fire, not to exceed $11,600, and then Ron will provide us a paper invoice tomorrow. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes.
All right, thank you. Now, the other thing, we've been looking at this for about a year, maybe a little bit longer and stuff of, the carpet in the building has been there since we actually had the building built. And there's a lot of stains. In fact, some of the stains are actually some that have come up through the floor from the concrete. You know, it has actually bled into stuff and actually done some of that. But, it's, especially since pretty much all day long and stuff, we have a lot of traffic area now that we didn't have. It's starting to break down pretty rapidly. So, we were looking at what was the best avenue. So what we did is we looked at carpeting, we looked at tile floor, we looked at the laminate flooring, everything. I've gone to a couple fire stations and stuff and looked at their acrylic floors, or, you know, basically the, whatever that stuff is, the hard shell stuff that you put on garage floors and stuff. And that's kind of where we want to go. That stuff's got a longer lifespan. It's also easier to clean and maintain. It's better for us as a unit to try to keep it clean and that kind of stuff. So the big thing, what we did is we had 3 or 4 people and stuff look at it, and we got 3 quotes from different vendors from around. Garage Force was one, Coleman Concrete, and Dancer. They all came in, did measurements, looked at it, and basically, any one of them do a pretty good job. I mean, overall. So Dancer is one on the Fort Wayne area. I'm not familiar with them, but there's been a couple of people that did, that had actually worked with them. But they are definitely a lot more expensive and doing the same thing. So we're looking for some places that's a little bit cheaper because, you know, we're looking at some point, we want to do the bay floors also. But right now, we're looking at just the living area and stuff, where the hallways, our radio room, and our training room. All of the other stuff can remain carpeted in the office area. So the well-trafficked area is what we're looking at. If you look at garage floors, it's $7,277. The Coleman was just a little bit less at $69.86, and then Dancer was $12,000. Now, the one thing that stood out for us was that Garage Force is not looking to replace the side things. They said they can do it without ruining the side, the code, whatever that stuff is. So
The code.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with a lot of these flooring. They've done a lot of my shop at work. But what I'm very cautious of, are they planning to remove it and replace it then? Like utilize the same code?
Yeah, they said that the one has said that they were trying not to do it, and they have done it before and not removed it, and it was fine. Anything, if they have to, they would, and I think they did leave a quote in there for that. Garage Force did.
Yeah, I didn't see it on Garage Force, and that's kind of,
I seen it on your other 2.
Yeah.
Dancer's had it for additional $1,650.
And
Yeah.
Coleman had it for another $1,000.
And the one thing that I found, we have all of that upstairs yet. From when they built the building, we have boxes of it still upstairs. Yeah, yeah. So it was one of those where if they do have a problem with it, we can supply them with that. It'd just be a matter of putting it on. And we also found out that there are guys on the department that can.
Okay.
So I was a little bit like, okay. But the other part of it, what I liked with Garage Force is they're the only ones that gave us a lifetime guarantee. And the one thing and stuff there's a fire department, Corona Fire Department has had them do theirs. And I have talked to them and they said that they're extremely happy with it. I have seen it firsthand and it's really nice. Like I said, every one of these I think would do a good job. I don't see any problems with it. The lifetime guarantee was the one that kind of stood out for me. And it just kind of sit there, you know, it's only a couple $100 more than the other one, and it's a lot less than the other one. So.
And you're confident you have enough cove in the attic or wherever?
Yes, I believe that there is enough up there to cover that hallway and the trading.
So if there's enough of that code to cover that, technically Coleman's doesn't need to put code on their estimate then.
Correct.
And if you do that, then they're almost $1,100 cheap.
Right. You know, like I said, the lifetime guarantee is the one I like. Because the fact is and stuff, they would come in and do any damage assessment, damage repair, or anything that would come up from that. And they did put in there what they would do, what they would cover on that. And they also are putting an outer quarter shell on it that sounds like it's harder or better than.
Yeah, usually you do between 3 and 5 layers on it. The 5th layer,
That what it is?
does do your harder top surface, uses clean longevity. Just a nice experience with it.
They all seem good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, as far as that part
The
goes.
lifetime is pretty good. If you're confident in having enough cove, I mean, I'm good with the Garage Force.
I just don't want to come back and get charged $1,000.
Yeah, that's what I want to avoid as well.
I don't know if we can get something in writing on that.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'd like to have something that protects us.
Yeah,
Because
if we supply it with them, are they willing to do it for free, or would it just be our plan to, do it yourselves?
Like I said, we've got the people to do it. I mean, that part was not an issue to me.
If we did it ourselves, would that ruin the warranty?
It shouldn't avoid your warranty, it's just the code it's that right here that,
It's
has to be your drywall.
border.
Yeah.
It's very easy to put down from everywhere, so I don't know.
Well, code base is easy.
You're
You're talking about the coding and code base.
The stuff around the
Yeah,
side.
it's here.
Yeah, it's just that stuff, trim.
Yeah.
You have any questions, Bob, on that?
I would, I mean, for me and stuff, that's all for me, so.
No, I think the lifetime guarantee is a definite factor.
do we know what the other ones were? Did you ask them what their warranties were?
No, I mean, the warranties and stuff, I didn't see anything in their paperwork. I did ask Coleman's, and they never came back with anything on theirs. I asked them about, I mean, every one of them have any colors that we want and that kind of stuff. And I did email the guy or call the guy and stuff that Noah, not Noah, that's, trying to think what the guy's name was that came in from Coleman and stuff. I did talk to him, Jeff, talked to him after and stuff on the phone, and asked him what the, warranties were and the color scheme.
You'd have to, they have it listed, you just have to click on it on like your dancer, but I also noticed on dancer that, you would be responsible for the removal of the code and the carpeting as well.
The carpeting and stuff definitely was something that we did to save off money.
Yeah.
That was something that we did, we offered that right away. And by looking at it, that was kind of the thing that we were looking at as our savings.
I mean, I'm good with this as long as, you have enough code and you don't come back asking for money to purchase code on that. That's my only, discretionary.
$1,000 swing.
Yeah, that is. So.
I mean, I would go back and ask him to find out exactly what that would be. But,
Well, no, if you guys are doing it, then you have enough.
yeah,
Otherwise, yeah, you're looking at $1,000 to $1,500 of what's with labor and materials. So,
Either way, I'll just make them do it. I mean, our guys.
Yeah, that's fine. So, Bob, anything else?
No, I can't think of anything else.
Well, then I move that we approve the garage force, quote as presented in the amount of $7,277.05 and not to exceed the presented amount. Also contingent upon having your crew, install the code.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the quote from Garage Force as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? I'm gonna oppose this one, so it'll be if you want to vote. I still don't think it's a complete estimate, apples to apples. That's why I went that way, so. But the motion is passed. All right. Anything else, Ron?
No, that should be enough, thank you.
All right, Stuart.
I have nothing for board workers.
Chris.
So yes, I have one thing for the Board of Works. The Maxon Park Bridge has not been inspected since 2018. Last time we had it inspected was BF&S, which we have the report and everything from. It appears that we did all the work that they were requesting at the time. They originally come back with a $12,000 estimate. Through email, it came back then at 10. We looked at SJ, CNA. They came out, their estimate was at 7182, and then United was 6,000. We're requesting to go with United 6,000. Ben recommended them from the highway. Said they were really good, would be suffice for what we're needing, but this includes the load test. All these estimates include a load test on to see how much weight we're allowed to put on that road.
What is the usual time frame for something like that?
That's a good question.
What's that?
That's a good question. I'm not 100%
As
sure
far
on
as
that.
getting it inspected,
Yeah. Is it like every?
they said 1 to 4 years, which is kind of a wide area.
Yeah, that's
Probably depends on use every day versus, minimal.
Obviously, it's been long enough, it needs to be redone, but I was just curious.
What's the current rate on the bridge right now?
It says 20 ton, which we do have. Our back truck goes back over there, the leaf back goes over it, dump trucks. There's a lot of weight that goes over that bridge.
I think fire truck's been back there a few times.
Fire trucks go back and burn.
Yeah, nothing bigger than the tanker
I wouldn't be surprised, if they come back and say we need to make some repairs, I know some planking on it's getting to be a little rough. And there were some items that they identified back in 2019 that I don't think they got taken care of. So we'll probably show back up on that report again. There was some things that were done, like the approach areas, I think that was taken care of. It was starting to wash away on the edges. But
I'm not 100% sure with the dirt underneath. I can't remember what that was.
yeah, what was
called.
that wording they had for that?
But it looks like that's been washed away. I mean, when that fills, it washes out pretty easily over there. That was,
To me, the biggest concern is to make sure our load rating where it needs to be with the equipment going across. So back in 19, when we had it done, it was only $3,500.
They charge you for each and every.
Yeah, then they come back to 4,000 and they question why so much, and then they lowered it to 10, and that's when I decided to call to see who the county uses.
So I see this one for the VF&S, is this who you're wanting to go through? Or do you have to utilize?
no, we were reading through United for the six.
Okay, that's what
Yeah, because BFMS was tendering,
Yeah.
to do the same thing.
I just didn't know if they had a preferred vendor that you're looking to be using. I mean, I prefer the $6,000.
Yeah,
If we're getting the same,
like I said, they do a lot for the county, so I trust them,
Yeah.
doing that work for the county.
is that what you like to go with them, is go with the United?
Yeah, I'd like to go with United.
Bob, do you have any other adjustments with it? I'll go that we approve, the Maxon Park Bridge, inspection as presented from United Quote in the amount of $6,000.
Second.
Motion and a second to accept the bid from United for bridge inspection for Maxon Park. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass. All right. Let's move on to Braxton.
I got one thing, you'll notice the green sheet, and then there's 3 different quotes on there as well. Talked about this early, because we had to purchase this to just get it done and over with. But I'd be asking for $63,000 total for the, $62,000 virtual servers. This will essentially condense 3 servers into 2. That 3rd server that's getting condensed is really old, and it's kind of on its way out already. We've already experienced where we couldn't get it back online for several hours. Combining this 3rd one into the other 2 also increases redundancy with our servers. This modernizes a lot of them. A lot of them are using Windows 2016, I believe, is kind of the average. It mixes and matches. This will just support a lot of our virtual servers. Reason we kind of had to jump on this is because other quotes, hard drives with different data centers and other stuff across the country, hard drive prices tripled overnight on one quote, and so that added $10,000 to $30,000 in some of these quotes. CDW came in with a $62,000 quote, had to jump on it right away, so just approval for $63,000. Clarification as well, the advanced IT quote, because they're MSP, that's not his quote. He just can't name his distributor. He just wanted me to clarify that he's not trying to charge $30-some thousand extra. But he just had to put it on his own bid. And this is replacing 3 full servers. It's not gonna get cheaper than this. We're even finding a lot of these vendors don't even have the equipment available, so they won't even give us a quote.
That's due to data centers taking up.
Data center with hard drives, it's just, they're so hard to come by, and the best ones are being snapped up right away. It fits with a lot of our infrastructure, so we have backup units that these work with as well. Our backup units are kind of, best way to describe it is very narrow-minded backup units where they only see certain pieces of equipment. And a couple of those units don't need replaced, but these servers desperately need replaced. And so in the coming years, it's time for backups to be reduced or redone, I want to get ones that are more universally accepted. So, in the future, 10, 15 years, if we have to end up replacing these again, depending on how long they last, we'll just have way more options available to us. Some of the quotes that I didn't even name were maybe 20,000 above that initial one, and included us redoing our backups as well. Or when you factor in the doing the backups, it's $30,000, $40,000 more for the same thing. So cheap as we could get it. And that's for 2 servers as well. It's just everything on that itemized list is just divided by 1, and that's per server.
You aware how soon they'll be shipping this?
I have not gotten a guarantee on when it's shipping. It's in stock for that vendor, so they're able to access it quickly. I'd give it a couple,
I only
1 to
ask
3 weeks.
because I see the notes on here that I don't know I've ever seen where they're reserving the right to change their price right up to the date of shipment.
Yep, and I do, which I have written, paper trail from that vendor as well, stating that their quote's good till the 31st. And so we've already put in the purchase order and gotten that underway, so I believe our price to be locked in. I asked about that specifically because
Okay.
they're starting to put that on all of these technical quotes purely because of hard drive costs. I mean, well, that and RAM, but RAM market has steadied a little bit.
The fact that they've got it in stock, though, they've already paid for it, so I would think it would be locked in.
Right.
Conversation with Dark Star Data, just taking you guys, maybe get something cheaper. I shared that with Braxton. He said most of their suppliers on their servers are sold out all the way through 2027 with all the data. Data centers going in.
No, we definitely gotta move on this,
Yeah,
but, just curious when I read that.
Yeah.
I'd stay just consistent with communication with them.
Yeah, I'm keeping communication, I'm bothering our rep quite a lot. The other thing too is I've looked into hard drive, kind of the market. It really would be a guessing game if they're gonna go down in a few months, or if they're gonna go, they could steady. I talked to Nate with our MSP and he said, yeah, they may plateau or dip a little, but he doesn't even see them returning to normal. This is probably the new normal.
Look what happened in the county on a wait and see approach on the jail. 20-some million to 51 million.
Yeah, I'm good with this. I move we, approve a special purchase request to CDW for the purchase of a new server, not to exceed $63,000 as presented.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the contract from CDWG as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nothing, I have nothing before. Yeah.
Johnson,
Nothing for the board of works.
Angie.
I have two items. The first item is our copier lease for the office here is up. We have gotten Xerox copiers for many years, had great luck with them. So Braxton had them go ahead and quote us a new upgraded model. It looks like they just played around with the numbers to make them look slightly different. We're gonna be paying the same amount per month. Yeah, because the lease cost per month is $6.40 lower, but the black and white cost per copy and the color cost per copy went up just slightly. So I'm thinking
Just
that
enough to offset.
just enough to offset the $6.40.
And this is keeping us at a 60-month lease?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have good support. If we run into an issue and need to replace one of the toners, they normally have extras in Auburn or Coldwater, and they will bring them to us so that we are not down.
They also, a lot of the Xerox printers have motherboard issues lately that we've been noticing. And so they'll replace the motherboard on those leases or get us a new one.
Let's say you just made me really nervous there, like, why are we signing a 5-year lease?
No, yeah, so they'll just get us a new unit, so we'll get uptick on that.
Okay. I'm good with that. I move that we approve the business impressions, renewed lease for the new copiers, as presented.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the business impressions lease. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass.
Okay, my next item is we are looking at changing our credit card processing company. We currently use Invoice Cloud. We've been with them about 2.5 years. And we have issues reconciling what they say they're putting into our bank versus what we're actually receiving into our bank. It all works out in the end, but it's very hard to reconcile. So our software provider has recognized that, and they have developed their own credit card processing. And they approached us and wanted to know if we would like to switch, and they said we will never have a reconciling issue again. So we're all for it. And we also pay a monthly charge for our actual credit card machine. If we go with our software provider, we purchase that up front and save probably $1,000 per the life of the machine. So the annual cost will be about the same. However, we use Invoice Cloud for our emergency management messaging. So if we do switch credit card processing companies, Braxton would need to find another company to do our text and voice messaging for emergencies. He's already looking into that, but hasn't discovered or hasn't decided which way we want to go. So we would not switch to the SSI pay until Braxton
That'd be my
has something
recommendation.
in place and we have tested it to make sure it works.
I agree with that thought process, and that way you can account for the savings or increased costs from that switch as well for the evaluation.
Which I've looked into that, we get those services already through our website provider. I've just been having a lot of difficulty with them, and so I'm meeting with executives to correct those difficulties. So in that meeting, I'm hoping to see that, because then if, you know, they're positive with correcting those difficulties, then I'm okay with looking into their product. But if they don't correct them, I don't want to get more products from someone who's being difficult, so kind of have to wait on that.
So I would like permission to go ahead and move forward so that we kind of get on the schedule to get switched over to the new credit card provider, but we won't pull the plug until the text message and aspect has been solved.
So you're asking for permission to be scheduled with SSI?
At least to get on their list for the year.
Okay. What, if we do that, where does it put us, like, what's that estimated date range to where then he has to find somebody?
They'll work with us as long as we do it this year.
Is there a money commitment then to that?
No, not upfront. But if we delay too long, this is a new program, and probably at the first of the year, they will charge $5,000 for the installation fee,
Which is currently waived.
which is currently waived.
Pressure's on. Pressure's on. But I move that we, give the clerk permission to move forward with scheduling, the SSI page, at zero cost upfront until we actually find a provider.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the contract as presented with SSI pay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass.
Thank you.
Bob, you have anything for the board of works?
No, sir.
Justin?
No.
I've got three things on agenda for me. The first one would be, disability pay per Butler City Code 37.12. Didn't know that was actually in our handbook. I think Corey or Andrew, one of you should have found that in the handbook or something. That if, and it's only for the police chief or the street superintendent, they do not come back and perform their duties 100%. Right on the get-go, that they still get their pay in full. Now, there's a letter here, like I said, I kind of verbally got the authorization from the Board of Works, but I forgot to bring it up to the Board of Works meeting last time. And then talking to Don with it, as long as we can get it put on the record for today, that pay could start during that pay period. There's probably something that we'll look at later on, because this ordinance was put in there in 1980. Not sure why they singled out the police chief and street superintendent, but honestly, probably once this goes away, we'll probably look at taking that out of ordinance. If you're only gonna put a couple in there. And I don't see what the reasoning is for it to begin with. Well, I can speculate back then why it was put in there, but
Sounds like a council problem to me.
part of the ordinance.
Wow.
So, for the time being,
My great grandfather, I think, was police chief back in the 1980s.
It was just too easy.
Yeah.
so I just basically just need a motion a second, put this on the record. We'll follow that Butler City Code 37-12.
You go for it.
I move we, add to the record, for the employee handbook, section 37.12, concerning disability for the police chief. Not worded, but just be added to the record transcript as of today's meeting.
A second.
The motion a second to move the disability per Butler City Code 37-12 as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass. Second one is parking lot repair and sealing. I had this underneath mine, I kind of started that 6 months ago, but next year it'll be all Chris's. We'll just put all this on your plate. But if you look at the quotes here for sealing of the parking lots, the best we can tell, we have done nothing at least the last,
20 years.
I'm gonna say 15 to 20 years. And most of these contractors I brought out here said, yeah, you guys really need to start getting a little bit better on your maintenance. So I went out and got 4 different quotes. The 2 highest ones I don't have on here, they was around 36 to 38,000. 2 quotes I have here presented today is one's for $25,243, the other one's for $27,348. So basically, you can see on the map what we're looking to get done. So the first one would be City Hall, be the parking lot out back, plus the alleyway from Oak Street to Railroad Street. Second quote is for Southside Park and the walking path. Now, we did do the walking path back in 2020, so that's why they say on here they're only gonna put 1 coat on there versus where they're gonna put on the parking lots, they're gonna put 2 quotes. Or 2 coats. Second quote is for Halfway Park. So that there again, we're gonna get, we don't own all that, so we're basically gonna do the north side of the library. And then we do half of the west parking lot along the ball diamond. The library owns the rest of it, what's parallel on Willow Street, and then the other section just off the library by the water tower.
And the library will be doing the project along with the city. We've already discussed it.
They give some good discounts by doing multiple projects. The 4th one would be the fire department. And both of them agreed that they'll do 1/2 one day, be set, so they can gain access, and do the other half, once that clears, keep you guys up and running. I think we talked to one guy out there, it might have been on Sal's thing. But then the last one would be the city barns, so it would be the parking lot out here, just outside the water building, along Depot and Broadway. And then it'll be for parking, where the employees park at, building number 2. The higher one we had, about 38,000, was from a company that does, a lot of the coating for low VOC, low odor. But what we found out was that all some other places that use it does not last as long as what the car side of it is. The longevity wasn't there, plus they was almost $12,000 more. You can see the breakdown of where we can get the money out. It's been budgeted. I think we budgeted 75,000 for parking lot paving for this year. So we're gonna get about 1/3 of that. they opted not to do an estimate on the PD because it's probably too far gone, especially out back on the south side.
I was gonna ask about that, because
Yep.
PD's pretty rough.
Yeah, so working on that, I got, 2 estimates to do the front side on the Aiken side of it. So I need to come back and do, which we're gonna talk to like Palmer, what's gonna do our community crossing. If they cannot do something when they're here in town, that way we don't have to pay for mobilization and demobilization and then like that, so they would do the back side and plus do in between Napa and police station there, that segment there to do as well.
I'd also call B&J Construction as well.
What's that?
I'd also talk to B&J Construction as well. They are really good.
Who is it?
B&J, on Fort Wayne, they did, my parking lots.
Okay.
And they're very good price too, sealing and construction, especially for that bad shape that that back lot is. William Wells is,
Yeah, we give them a call for that part, because that back that we had has been pieced together, it's been concrete, it's been asphalt over.
Butler was really busy too.
Yeah.
Right on the doors.
Yeah.
Aside for the pavers of concrete, which is a, start to split and crack and everything else, so. Those are contributing.
that's definitely
Yeah.
Any other questions on those, 4 bids?
I'm good.
And all, you putting all the striking back, even on the library side, they'll put the pickleball, strike back as well.
Anything else on this problem?
Yeah, no, no, any of it.
Say it again.
What's that?
Say it again.
So, no, I've got,
Okay.
can't think of any other questions.
And I move that we approve Sal's, quotes as presented.
Asphalt maintenance.
Oh, Sal's asphalt maintenance, excuse me. Or is it asphalt maintenance you were going to?
Pardon?
I thought you were stating for Sal's, even though it's.
No, I was just referencing, asphalt
My
maintenance.
This and that. I move that we approve asphalt maintenance for the listed parking lots and alleyways and fire department, city barns, and the amount of $5,243.
Second.
Motion and second to accept the contract for asphalt paving as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass. The last one on here, I know a month ago, the Alder Main Street director showed up wanting money for the Veterans Memorial to finish that out. They had run into a short fund on putting the plaques and the marble on the front side of that. We didn't put it back on the agenda last week or last month. But I was kind of, when I say really approached, I get together every month with the alderman and Garrett, and was kind of talking about this here, how this played down, how it really wasn't a countywide project, it basically was an Alder Main Street. And they basically run out of funding, so now we're looking for help. I told him we turned it down, we tabled it. We were happy the way the whole project played out, you know, we are for the veterans 110%. But we thought Alder Main Street could have presented this a little bit better. He asked us to consider possibly doing the upfront cost of $1,890, and the reason he asked that is a pretty long turnaround time to get that marble stuff ordered. And they want to be able to get it ordered, so we don't have to delay it, because it could be up to 3 or 4 months, is what he said. as well. I'll take it back to Board of Works, but, you know, we're just kind of adamant that we're gonna table this and discuss possibly some fundraising opportunities, so on and so forth. So I'm presenting again, where we wanna go ahead and fund that for the initial amount of the engraving of the panels only at $1,890, and then table the rest of it.
Yeah, I'd say table the rest, to give us an opportunity to reach out to local businesses and whatnot.
We've got a fundraiser kind of in place right now, we're working on that, can possibly help offset the rest of this.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no problem kickstarting a little bit to get, so they get the ball rolling, and hopefully the fundraising can take care of most of the
We're
rest.
still in a way to delay it. And we've got on the funding wise, I mean, we could take that out of the multiples, we can
Yeah.
take it out of seed and special project and that stuff, so it's not like we. And if we do enough fundraiser, I think we can probably put that money back into it. But I just don't, you know, if we don't have to hold the money, we'll have to.
I move we approve funding for the initial ask for the on the Main Street presented Veterans Memorial in amount not to exceed $1,890.
Second.
Motion a second to approve the funding to Alderman Main Street not to exceed $1,890. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion passed. Cool, we're done. Anybody in the audience have anything for the Board of Works? Okay, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
7:28.